this is Jella and welcome back to my channel. We are now part 13 in our Korean town series where we will be making a Jimjilbang or Korean bathhouse or sauna. This is on the corner area next to the apartment building we made from part 11 and 12. So if you want to build this too, then keep on watching. So for our part 13, we will be making a Jimjilbang or Korean bathhouse and sauna in this corner area. Since Korean bathhouses have a lot of rooms and specific areas, it takes up a whole building. And so we will make a 3-story high building and make a basement level as well. I first added a basement, so if you are going to recreate this, you will need a basement Gamepass. If you don't have a basement Gamepass, then you can skip the basement part. Since this is not a really big space and an elevator would take up a lot of plot data and it is quite expensive, I decided to use stairs for the whole building. So we will place the stairwell by the corner side. Add a small flooring first so you can place the left modern U stairs. And then delete the floor. Now the stairs going to the basement doesn't need to have an open space below, so we will just use the right basic U stairs and place it right next to the staircase. Now add a flooring and make sure to leave the angled tiles so that the texture we will add later will not be distorted. And then just follow the wall lines of the building. We will use the same wall color except the wall texture would be a tile. Then just color the whole exterior building. Now we will add the walls until the 3rd level, but don't place floorings first because I will be deleting the floor I placed in the 2nd level. Just add a small floor on the corner to place the stairs and then delete it after.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 너 그래 너 요새 너 조금 이상해졌어 자꾸만 시도 때도 없이 시무룩하.
Now we are adding the roof and I will just use the flat roof and adjust the sides of the roof higher. I won't be adding details or clutters above for now since we don't know how many plot data will be left once we complete adding all the buildings in this town. So for now, all the building roofs are empty. Anyways, I added a large painting in front of the building which will be the logo of this Jimjilbang. I also added another painting on the sides which will be a vertical signage. And then for the entrance door, again I will use this commercial double door. Okay, now let's go to the basement first. I will be adding another row of tiles on the left so the whole basement will be an 8x8 floor area. This will be the scrubbing and bathing area, which we will have a separation for male and female baths. Since this Jimjilbang is kind of small in terms of room area per floor, we will just make each area a bit smaller than the actual Korean sauna bathhouses. So going down to the basement, there really isn't much space left except the doors of the male and female baths. I will be making the female area to the left and then the male area to the right. Let's leave the basement for now and go to the 1st floor, which is the reception area. I will be using this tile texture for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floor. Color the staircase the same as the flooring and make the base to wooden brown. As for the walls, I colored it mid-gray for now, but I will be changing most of the walls to wooden brown later on. Let's make the reception area first, which will be in this corner next to the staircase. I'm gonna use this folded towels as the sauna shirts that customers wear. So add 2 separate clothes and color one pink and then blue. We will add a tall cabinet on the back, which will be for storage of clothes and towels. I colored the cabinets to wooden brown since we will be making the furnitures to brown color. Then add a plain counter in front as the reception desk. I colored this the same wooden brown that I used on the cabinet. Make sure to use the large grid line to place the counter in the center grid. Then add a structural beam on the front and resize it so there would be an indentation on the front desk. Color the beam the same as the wooden counter. Now add a tall shaker overhead cabinet above the front desk counter while using the large grid line. I'm gonna add a menu board on the side of the price lists. Color the frame to brown so it would match the brown furnitures we have. And then just add some clutters on the front desk, but I won't be adding too much since we are cautious with the plot data usage. I'm gonna add windows on the sides and use this medium panel window. Resize this to fit the wall in between the doorway and reception desk. As you can see, we have this area on the right which we will make as the shoe lockers. When you enter a Korean Jimjilbang, they have a separate shoe locker where you leave your shoes before you enter other areas of the bathhouse sauna. Now we will make a custom locker and I will be making this the simplest one using basic shapes. Grab one cube and resize this to make a huge locker base. Then add a vent and this will act as one locker space. So I will be adding 3 layers with 4 doors each. Then add a structural round beam and make a separation on each layer to look like locker door.
이니 생겼니 초등학교 영어 수업 시간에 배웠었던 현재 진행형 같아 하루에 10번 내 맘이 움직여 이상하고 아름다운 느낌이 좋아 걱정되고 보고 싶은 이런
I colored the back wall to wooden texture, but I will be changing this later to match the other wooden walls I will make. If you want to save a bit money, don't color the staircase walls like I did, because I will be changing this to wooden walls later as well. We will close off the shoe locker area with a wall, and then I will add an arched door frame. I'm also adding ceiling trims around the first floor, but don't add any ceiling trims on the walls by the staircase, since I will be deleting those later on. Now add a wall in between the stairs to close off the sections. I preferred adding walls instead of railings because I want the whole building to be compact and customers don't see what is above or below just yet. I added half fences on the gaps below the stairs so it won't be visible. Then I deleted the ceiling trims that I mentioned earlier since it isn't really much seen and adds up to the plot data. Add a thin pillar on the corner walls of the stairs and do this on the other floors as well. If you noticed, I added a curtain on the arched door of the shoe lockers. Color the curtain however you like. I'm gonna move to the basement again to continue the layout. Sorry if I keep on jumping off different floor levels. I wanted to make sure that the basement floor and first floor look similar in a way. I added flooring on the bath area, but for the male area, I will be rearranging the flooring later because I will make the locker area of the male to a 2x3 square room as well. Again, I got distracted and went back to the first floor even though I forgot I was going to start on the basement. But anyways, I added some floor plants on the corners. And then I used industrial bench seat for the customers. We need 2 benches on the shoe locker area.
이니 생겼니 초등학교 영어 수업
Going back to the basement, I colored the walls to mid-gray, the same as the walls we made from the first floor. But I will be recoloring the walls from the bath area later. Let's add some doors for the female and male bath area, and I will just use the cheapest door. Add a square painting and resize it to fit the upper part of the door. I will be making some decals for the sauna bathhouse, so if you would like to use that as well, all the decal codes I made will be in the description box. Then color the door the same as the cabinets we have on the reception. There's nothing much to add in the basement, so we will move on to the bathroom lockers. I wanted to make a custom locker that is functional, so we will use this wardrobe cabinet and place a vertical plank to cover up the front details. I started adding the plank on the bottom so when I resize this, it would reach the middle half. And then color this to medium gray with plastic texture before duplicating. Now copy the plank we colored and place it on the middle half so it would cover the upper part of the cabinet. I only did this so we can place some items in front to add details like the vents that I used from the shoe lockers. Color the rest of the cabinet to match the planks we added in front. Because the lockers we made earlier is specific for shoes, this locker is for hanging clothes and bags. This would take up some space, so we will divide this cabinet into 4 doors with 2 vents on each row. Again, I'm using the round beam to make a division in the middle. I won't be making a very detailed locker or a really complicated one just because we are saving plot data in this town. Now add a doorbell and use the simplest one. This would be the keyhole of our lockers. Color the doorbell the same as the locker, but make the middle circle darker to make it look like a keyhole. Use the variable place when you place the doorbells so that you can move it wherever you like it to be placed. Our custom lockers are done, and I'm going to place it over here by the door and add 2 more. I also added the locker cabinets in the male section and noticed that it was too big of a size. So to match the female locker room, I will be chopping off 1 square row and make a 2x3 room as well. That way, both locker rooms are the same size. I deleted the floors and copied the one from the first floor. Okay, now locker rooms are done. I'm adding this glass sliding door going to the bath area. For the flooring in the bath area, I'm gonna use this symmetrical brick texture with the color oyster. There's not much tile texture in game that I wanted to use in here, so this looked good for a bath area. Now we will make a custom tub using basic cube. I'm gonna place this in the middle so the tub we will make will be usable on both male and female bath. Resize this, but not too wide so we can still add another tub on the corner side. Now flatten the cube and then place a simple ottoman near the back wall. You can place the ottomans to face whichever direction you like, but I will just place this facing the front. Color 1 ottoman first before duplicating to save a bit money. Then add at least 3 in one tub. I colored this to a shade of blue with a water texture, but I will be changing the shade of the water later. Add 3 more ottomans on the other side before resizing the cube. I should have checked the tub first to see the water level when the customer sits on the ottoman because it wasn't enough to cover the torso. So if you are on this part, resize the cube higher before adding the vertical plank on the corners. I will be adding another cube later because I can't resize the cube anymore due to the planks I added on the edge. Anyways, we will be adding another tub on the corner, and for this one, we will just use the in-game modern corner bath. In Korean bathhouses, there is another tub that uses green tea instead of plain warm water. So we will be adding a round basic shape and resize this to fit the middle portion of the tub. Make sure that the round shape doesn't poke in front. The back part doesn't matter since there is a wall. Then copy the water texture but change the color to slime green or the shade of green you like. Now you can duplicate the whole tub and place one on the male bath as well. Moving to the scrubbing or bathing area, we will place it here in the middle area. As much as I want not to place it by the door, we don't have enough space, so it is what it is. I'm using basic cubes to make a partition but change the texture to slate. I'm gonna add a few clutters, so feel free to add some more that you like, but be careful with adding more since the plot data will be in danger.
걱정되고 보고 싶은 이런 기분은 현재 진행형 사실은 나도 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠어 어쩌다 우리 여기까지 알 수 없는
I'm gonna add more ottoman chairs in here and we will change the color to cork and texture to wooden plank of your choice. Make sure that the ottoman chair is facing the right direction so that it would look good when customers sit here. I will only add 4 scrubbing or bathing area in here since this is just a small bathhouse. Anyways, make this side wall to slate texture since I will be changing this walls later on. And to add more heat from the tubs, add a fog machine and place it on the back side of the tub that is not visible. Okay, I forgot to add a toilet area in this whole building. So here is one cubicle toilet that I'm adding on this corner. I'm using this fence as to how I did before, but as I was editing this, summer update came and there was a cubicle update. So feel free to change this cubicle to the recent one we have. Anyways, I'm just adding some clutters on this corner so it wouldn't look too empty. And then I'll just copy everything I placed in here to the other side.
초등학교 영어 수업 시간에 배웠었던 현재 진행형 같아 하루에 10번 내 맘이 움직여
Okay, now let's add some lighting in our basement, and I'm gonna use the sleek ceiling light. Color the bulb to a yellowish brown shade. Feel free to change this so it wouldn't be too bright or too dim. I'm gonna place the ceiling lights on the corners and place a few in the middle. Change the ceiling color and texture to smooth rocks. This would be the ceiling texture that I will be using all throughout the building.
이상하고 아름다운 느낌이 좋아 걱정되고 보고 싶은 이런 기분은 현재 진행형 사실은 나도 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠어 어쩌다 우리 여기까지 알 수 없는
As I mentioned earlier, I will be changing the wall textures of this bath area. So for some walls I use the roof tile texture with linen color. And then on the other side I use the slate texture.
이상하고 아름다운 느낌이 좋아 걱정되고 보고 싶은 이런 기분은
I'm adding another layer of basic cube because as I mentioned earlier regarding the water level not covering the body. So I can't resize the cube anymore because of the planks placed. So if you want to save money, rescale the cube higher before adding the planks on the edge. Now rescale the planks again, and since the tub is quite higher now, we will add a basic cube as a leveled stair. So I got to try this again in person to see the water level and if it is enough. Okay, this looks much better, except I'm changing the water color to a dimmer blue since the water was kinda bright for a bathhouse. Now we are done with the basement bath area. I'm gonna add flooring to the second floor by just copying the flooring we have from the first floor. And then for the second floor, I'm gonna color the walls the same as the wooden old planks from the staircase. This floor will be an open sauna where people can lie down on the floor. I left the staircase back wall to plain mid-gray and then added ceiling trims and baseboard. Now copy the windows and place them on the curved area of the building. I've seen some Jimjilbang have windows, but not too many, so I'll just add 3 here in front. It also has a great view from the city. Now we will be making a sleeping area like a loft type where it has an elevated area and then arched opening below. We will be adding the sleeping area on this corner space.
이런 기분은 현재 진행형 사실은 나도 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠어 어쩌다 우리 여기까지 알 수 없는 잉잉잉 비동사 플러스 ing LOV를 붙여보면 사랑인 것 같고 say goodbye를 붙여보면 헤어질 것 같아서 ing just ing 내 맘은 아직 ing
To make use of the sleeping area, I'm gonna add a towel and color this as close as the flooring color so it wouldn't be noticeable. I'm gonna add 3 towels above and inside each arch space. Now for the safety of all people who will stay above, we will add a semi-transparent cube as railing.
보고 싶은 이런 기분은 현재 진행형 사실은 나도 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠어 어쩌다 우리 여기까지 알 수 없는 잉잉
Now I'm gonna add a counter on this corner for the food section or small cafeteria of this building. I copied the counter from the front desk and we will add 2 counters in here. In Korean saunas, they sell different snacks, but mostly hard-boiled eggs, sweet rice drink, and ramen noodles. So there isn't much kitchen space needed in here. I also copied the cash register from the shop and then placed also one on the front desk because I forgot to add one earlier. I also copied the overhead shaker cabinet from the reception, and we will place that above the counters to serve as storage and where we will place the signages.
여기까지 알 수 없는 잉잉잉 비동사 플러스 ing LOV를
Let's add some
붙여보면
appliances, and I will add this commercial display fridge for the cold refreshers and sweet rice drink. I'm gonna place a plain counter beside the fridge and place a microwave and an electric kettle. I'm gonna add this thermos on the side as a water jug for those who would like to drink water. I'm gonna use a placemat as the tray and color this dark stone gray with metal texture. Now we will be adding some hard-boiled eggs, and since we don't have that in our food game, I'm gonna use this soap dish and pretend that this is an egg. I've seen the eggs they use are brown organic eggs, so it would be perfect to add here. I mean, it isn't a perfect oval egg shape, but it kinda works, right? This is a cheaper option, but if you like to spend more money, you can use a round basic shape and resize it. As you can see, I've already prepared a lot of fountain drinks that I grabbed from the fridge. So color this light gray to make it look like a sweet rice drink. I'm just gonna clutter up this counter to look like some drinks are ordered.
사랑인 것 같고 say goodbye를 붙여보면 헤어질 것 같아서 ing just ing 내 맘은 아직 ing
Okay, so if you are familiar with Korean saunas, they have this wooden log in the middle where people can sit down or lay their backs on it. So good thing we have this wooden log in game, and it is also usable. Now I'm gonna add the same towels that I used on the sleeping area, and I will be adding a few around the log. So this depends on the customers if they want to sleep on the tiles or use a towel.
좋아한다고 보고 싶다고 그 말을 왜 못
I use this small box as a block pillow, but you cannot place it above the towel. So what I do is I move the towel first, then place the pillow on the head area. Make sure that you place this block pillow on the right spot, so it fits the head when you use the towel. I also move the extra blocks on the side as clutters and leave a sitting space here in front for people who will probably eat together while they stay in the sauna. I think it would be enjoyable to go on saunas with family or friends or even a special someone. I added another towel on the corner because we don't have much space on the center. I thought that this open sauna area was big enough when I planned this layout, but I guess this looks good enough for a small town. We are almost done with our Jimjilbang, but before I add lightings and ceiling on the second floor, I need to make some sauna rooms on the top floor. Since the flooring of the third level becomes the ceiling for the second level, we have to do the rooms first. The sauna rooms in a Korean Jimjilbang has a lot of different degrees and variation, which some are called fermentation rooms. Because our layout is quite small, we can only fit 2 separate sauna rooms. This is typically in a curved room or kinda like an igloo. So I used the worn bricks material, which is a new texture from the update. This will be the wall texture of the exterior part of our sauna rooms. Then I made the other walls the same as the second floor with the wooden plank. I used this arched glass door for the sauna rooms. Okay, going to the first sauna room, we will make this a salt fermentation room. I'm gonna make the floors to circular stones as well as the walls. Then we will add a semi-transparent cube. Since this is 4 square wide, we will add 2 separate cubes just to match the exact dimension we will place. Color the semi-transparent cube rust to look like red salt, then duplicate it. I want this to be functional and that people would be able to rest and lay down. So I will be using the towel again and color this as close as the red salt. Then I'm gonna rescale the semi-transparent cube higher to cover the towel. We're gonna add an edge or separation from the floor to the red salt. I used a fence railing, but I will be deleting this and replace it with a vertical plank later. Now moving to the second sauna room, we will make the flooring to sand texture with beige color. This is another fermentation room, so we will add a fog machine on the sides as well. Again, I will be adding towels so that we can lay down by the sand. And I'm also adding this beanbag, which I will color the same as the floor so that it would look like customers just sitting down. As for the walls, we will use the groutless bricks and color it brown. The third floor walls are quite plain, so I will add 1 window near the sauna logo. And then just add some bench seats for other people waiting in line or just relaxing before entering the sauna rooms. So I still haven't added lightings in the first, second, and third floor. I'm just gonna copy the sleek ceiling lights we have on the basement and prioritize adding to the corner sides of the wall.
좋아한다고 보고 싶다고 그 말을 왜 못하니 후회할까봐 아파할까봐 망설이는 걸 너의 현재 진행형 사실은 나도 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠어.
So the back of this building is super empty that I'm just gonna add this horizontal windows. Again, I will be adding more details and clutters once we finish the other parts of this town. And we are finally done with the Korean Jimjilbang. Our town is now costing $619,685. This sauna bathhouse building is located on the corner side next to the Korean barbecue grill restaurant. This is the first build I made after the Bloxburg map revamp, and I am loving this new map. I still haven't really toured the whole map because it is massive, but I will soon enough. Anyways, this is the exterior of our Jimjilbang. Very plain and simple, nothing much. I also closed off the sides of the road because I don't want the back part to be seen as a whole grass field. The back side of the building is empty, and I just added a dumpster bin and trash bag in here. I left the sides of the building plain since I'm still weighing how much plot data we will be able to use. And once we fill this neighborhood here, I'm gonna close off this side as well. Anyways, let's go inside the Jimjilbang. So this is the reception area. It looks kind of spacious and neat since there are no customers yet. So we have the front reception desk on the left corner side and shoe locker area to the right. So this is the front desk where you go straight upon entering the building. There is a sanitizing station that customers can use when they arrive. I forgot to add a stool for the staff to use, but this is the small desk for the receptionist. We have the storage cabinet at the back with the clothes and towels that customers will use when they stay in this sauna. So over here I made a floor directory of this building. We are currently here in the first floor reception and locker area. So the customer knows which level they would go to. After the customers pay at the reception counter, they would be given a locker key. Let's pretend that this lockers has a number. So the same locker number for the shoes and the lockers on the bath area. I placed some benches on the center, but we also have more bench seats outside the shoe locker room for customers to use. In Korean Jimjilbang, you are required to remove your shoes when you enter to keep the place clean. So this is the first level. Now we will go to the basement first so we can change clothes and also scrub and bathe before heading to the sauna rooms. There's nothing much going on the basement except this bath areas for the male and female. Let's go to the female area, but both baths are the same in terms of size. Once you enter, this is the locker area where you remove your clothes and store your items. Just click on the top part of the locker to use. Make sure to wear a towel when you enter here. This is best for role plays as well. Like, look how cool it would be if this bath house be full of customers around the room. I also want to try going to a Korean Jimjilbang because being a Korean drama fan, I have been watching a lot of them going to saunas and bathhouses. But the only thing I'm too shy to do is go on the bath area without any clothes on. I mean being exposed and all, but Ajumas don't really mind. Here is one toilet cubicle we have and the other one on the male bath. More scrubbing area over here. Once you've finished bathing and scrubbing, you can go to the hot tubs. We have the green tea tub on this corner. We also have the regular hot tub, which is a lot bigger and more people can go for a dip. I only added 3 seats, but if you will recreate this, feel free to add more. Let's go to the male bath area, but this is also the same as the female bath since the size and items are just duplicated. So this is the locker room, and then we have the bath area. The toilet cubicle on the side as well. I just duplicated this, but the layout is the only difference between the two baths. This hot tub can also occupy 3 people, and then we have the green tea hot tub on the corner as well. So that is the bath and scrubbing area in the basement. Now, let's go to the second floor, which is the open sauna. We have a small cafeteria corner where you can order snacks and drinks when you stay in this floor. I think people mostly buy hard-boiled egg and sweet rice drink when they stay in a Jimjilbang. A lot of families and friends would go here and bond or just probably take a nice long nap. I bet it looks good when this open sauna is full. Since our open sauna is not as big as I imagined it to be, there are a few great spots you can lay down and rest. You can stay over here for an open space, but if you like to take a long nap, there's also one over there. So glad I added this curved window on the front because the view is super nice. You can see the main town with all the shops on the side. Anyways, over here is the sleeping cubicles for those who want a bit of privacy. If you like to sleep in a dark space and not being walked over, this is for you. We also have more sleeping spots above, so not too much people going here unless they want to take a peaceful nap. Where you lay down and nap depends on your preference. So that is the second floor open sauna with a small cafeteria. Now let's go to the last floor, which is the closed saunas. I added the floor directory in each level so that the customers won't be confused. So we have here 2 closed sauna rooms, and let's go to the first one, which is a red salt fermentation room. This is a bigger sauna room, so we have an entry space, but you can choose to sit by the stones or lay down on the red salt. Have you guys tried going to a Korean sauna before? I want to know what the heat of each closed sauna feels like. I would probably go and try going to a Jimjilbang in the future, and if I do, I would update you all. I kind of feel like I can't stand super hot steams because I'm not a fan of super hot water baths. But we will find out if ever I get to try. Anyways, this is another salt fermentation room. This one is smaller compared to the first sauna. But both of these fermentation rooms are open for both male and female, just like the open sauna on the second floor. I added some bench seats over here in case this closed saunas are fully occupied. Anyways, that is the end of part 13 in our Korean Town series. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would appreciate your support by giving this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also click on the notification bell so you won't miss the latest videos I upload. Help me reach my goal of 10,000 subs. This would help me a lot, especially in making future videos for you all. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, or night. Love you all and take care. See you guys on my next video.